what you're doing with jonescrowder.com. Can you tell people a little bit about how this came to be and what the because I think this is a great play. And I knew I knew Steven was going to do this a long time ago because I helped him with his website and he told me, and I thought it was obviously a great idea. The idea of replatforming, the idea of now there's more options than ever with Rumble, which biasly I believe is the best. But there, even Twitter is freer speech. I don't really say free speech because there are very few truly free speech places, but there are
Yeah,
options now.
Twitter is censorship light.
Yes, right, exactly. And now we see as they're courting the advertisers, we're going to talk about that too, because they certainly are. Their new CEO has some interesting connections to groups that you're familiar with, and it has been courting advertisers hard and have been throwing out, lawful but not awful speech and all the same. It's just reprogrammed for a modern era. But when Jones Crowder started, what can people expect here? Obviously, Infowars and your regular project is not going anywhere. This is just extra work for Alex because you have tons of free time and you just need extra things to do. So how did this partnership start? And tell the people a little bit about it.
Well, the first time I met Joe Rogan in 1998, I knew that he was special and really smart, and I wanted to be his friend. And so he kind of let me be his friend, but I was definitely like in the cartoon, like, hey, Spike, let's go do this, Spike. Hey, let's hang out, Spike. Because I really liked Joe Rogan. And it's the same thing with Steven. I got him his first syndicated job on GCN, the network I was on. I was always trying to get him on. I was always trying to, hang out with him because I liked him. I try to associate with folks that I personally like. There's no big calculation in it. And so really, he kind of held me at arm's length. He'd come on sometimes, but he thought I was kind of a nut. And then it's that same process as he saw everything I talked about come true. When I got deplatformed 5 years ago, and really nobody else, my friends, anybody was standing up for me or supporting me, Steven said, well, now I want you on the show a lot. Now I want to come on your show. Now I see that you were right about a lot of this. And so I just like Steven. I think he's very talented. I like his crew. I like his people. He's also right here in Texas, about 3.5 hours away from me. And so about a year ago, he said, I'm going to leave the Blaze soon, and don't tell anybody. Now I can tell him. And he said, I'd like to, it also impressed him, which is a side story. He said, when I really decided to start working with you a couple of years ago was when he got into a divorce. And I had some of the top divorce lawyers in the state. And he got some of the same lawyers, and he learned about my case, how the judge gave me my kids and all that. And he thought that was really impressive. And so then he talked to some of the people that were involved in my case about the psychological profile I had to do and all the garbage I had to go through in the system to get my children. And so he thought that was kind of like a real certification there that, wow, Alex Jones, got his kids. That's a big deal, for things like that. And so he really does his due diligence. He's an owly guy because he's been screwed over a lot. He was a child star. And the entertainment business is super nasty and cutthroat. We all know Hollywood is beyond a filthy, cesspool. And so about a year ago, he said, I'm going to leave Blaze down the road. He said, I would like to work with you at that point. And I said, sure. So to me, it's not even a monetary issue. It's not an issue of wanting to do more work. It's that I have fun at Steven Crowder Studios. I like working with him. They're trying to shut down Infowars. They've not been successful. I think it'll be about a 90% chance that the reorganization bankruptcy goes through in the next few months. But it's a real deep state attack. And so since I got vindicated, I've been offered jobs by basically everybody but the Daily Wire. And I've had some big groups come in, but they want me to move to Florida or they want me to move to D.C. or places like that, and I'm just not going to do it. So I want to continue on with Infowars, but I want to start a once-a-week show that's going to air next Friday. And then when that's successful, and what he's doing already is, then we're going to start having the fourth hour of my show, which I pioneered 15 years ago, but stopped doing in 2016. We had some subscription stuff. I got rid of it because we were so successful. I just wanted everything to be free. We're going to go back to the fourth hour, being commercial free with a special guest and things like that. I'm going to do PowerPoint presentations. I'm going to do documentaries. I'm going to do special events. I'm going to infiltrate Bohemian Grove again. Almost did it this year, but had too much stuff going on to do it. So we're going to go to Davos Group. We're going to go to Bilderberg. We're going to go to RNC. We're going to go to DNC. And if the bankruptcy gets in the way of that, it's really if if they come, we will be able to build it. I know Steven puts like 95% of the money he gets back into his operation.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to jonescrowder.com, you get a month free to sign up for Mug Club. And so if we get enough members, I've already talked to them about taking basically most of the money I'm going to make off of that, because Rumble gets 10% and Steven gets 10%, which is great for his infrastructure.
That's fine. Yeah.
Very, very modest. I'm looking to take the majority of that money and not buy a private jet or a bigger house, but to actually, through his system, because he's a great manager, hire reporters, crew, and really create field teams and things for investigative journalism and a lot of other stuff. So this is sticking the toe in the water, or it's kind of like the first date. But yes, if people want us to fight tyranny, if they want us to build a new infrastructure, if they want us to give the globalists a run with their money, first we've got to have a platform that can handle the massive traffic. And Rumble getting 6% of global video views is phenomenal. It's exponentially growing. If you look at the trends, it'll be 10% in a few months. It can be upwards of 20%. This is a game changer. They're working through a few bugs, but to be this big is hard. They're actually doing it. They've got the backing. And so because of having the utility to be able to then have Steven and his organizational skills to work with that is very, very exciting. I want to do more comedy. I'll probably go on the road with them doing comedy. I want to do more comedy sketches. I want to move back into having fun as well, but we'll also have very serious PowerPoints and things. So it takes money to win a war. We're in an information war. 90% of war, the Pentagon will tell you, is information war. And so it's very simple. We don't just boycott Anheuser-Busch and they lose 40 plus billion and 25% of their market share. If people do a boycott and they support not just Steven's show or my show or the other shows he's at, but shows like yours and Rumble, we really are building the new world in cyberspace. Mm-hmm. And Rumble's the only group to truly break through. Elon Musk saw that. He's trying to do it, but with the massive attacks and things he's under, I quite frankly really can't blame him for the move he's having to make back towards the establishment, just as a balancing act. I don't defend it, but I can see why he's doing it. So freedom is very popular. This is the time to double down, to not be lazy. And so, I'm going to use part of the money that comes in from this to stabilize and move InfoWars forward with this infrastructure, and then the rest of it to expand. And I would like to be doing shows 5-6 days a week. I'm going to hook up cameras at my house because I'll get up at 5-6 in the morning, and then I get totally exhausted after my show at 2 p.m. and usually try to take a nap for 30 minutes, then kind of work till 5-6, but I'm not really doing a good job. I go home, see my daughter, see my family. I got 4 children, but one still lives with me. The others have grown up now. I'm getting old. And then I want to be able to also, when I hit my second wind at 10 o'clock at night, fire up cameras like you do out of my bedroom office and just take questions from people and stuff like that. So
that'll be
really,
wild.
I've never had, absolutely, because I've never had the infrastructure or crew where, and I need to do it, where I literally have people standing by, at least 1 or 2 people, because when I'm done with the live show at night, I want to be able to archive it. I want to be able to cut it up. I want to be able to do that. So I'm looking to expand how much I work, not decrease it, because it's a lot of fun. I've just got to hit those rhythms.
So if you're listening and you want this and you support Alex, go to jonescrowder.com, open a new tab while we're streaming, or go after it, because he's 100% right. To add to, so I can give him a break here to take a breath, grab a sip of water or whiskey. Rumble, we've already seen with Crowder's election coverage last year, 400,000 plus people watching him live stream. And that was a year ago. They have exclusive rights to the RNC debates, which I'm going to be at. They're going to have their second debate. They have all the Trump rallies. Now, Rumble doesn't purport to want to be "quote unquote" a right wing or a free speech. They want cat videos just like everyone else. But this is also an extremely powerful thing. I talked about how just last week, month over month, last month my channel received 700,000 views in the first week of the month. This month, in the first week of the month, 1.7 million. That's more than a 200% increase, and it's going to keep going up and up and up and up. The more people now, of course, Rumble, as you mentioned, has hiccups. But what's cool about them is they're in the chat, they're fixing things real time. They are as free speech as it gets. Now, it's always one of those weird things where I wish nobody would ever just call themselves free speech. It should be freer speech or as free as reasonable, because the way the system's set up, which in our lifetime would be great if it got changed to a real internet 2.0, but that's a different kind of conversation. But in the current system, Rumble's as good as it gets with allowing people to speak their mind, and the fact that you're going to be able to do this stuff with jonescrowder.com. I really want people to back you because I want to see that content. I want to see Alex in his nightie and his nightcap on, with a little glass of scotch, waxing philosophic late night, and that's what jonescrowder.com's going to be able to do.